Thank you very much, Jim, and thank you very much. This is a very special honor. As I think Jim made clear, my connection with the Martha's Vineyard Museum has really come full circle. I started as a volunteer, served on the board, and then as director, and now I'm volunteering again. And I can't think of a place that would give me more pleasure to do that. As Jim pointed out, when I first came to the Vineyard, we bought a house that really has been home for me for almost the last 50 years. And what it meant the first time I ever came to visit the museum was that it was not any old museum at all, it was a special museum because it told me more about what I was now calling and have called home. And I'd like to describe just one thing from the collection that is characteristic of the objects in the collection that really let us walk in somebody else's shoes and have a real feeling for history. It's a very small letter, an old letter, creased and folded, and the writing looks very labored. You can almost feel somebody picking up a pen and writing in a very simple fashion. The letter was written from Barnstable, and the date is 1704. More than 300 years ago. It begins, "Honored Mother, I would like to present my affection to you and my regards to Mr. Smith, where I hope everyone is feeling well, as all of us are here, except for myself. And for a long time, I have felt pain, great pain, and weariness. I put my faith in the hands of the Lord, and I pray for patience in accepting his solution. What I really would like is a visit from you and your good company. But I know it can't happen because of the reason of the season and the very cold water between us. So I ask for your prayers and, again, help in my patience in accepting my future. Signed, your daughter, Ruth Bacon." Now, Ruth isn't a very common Vineyard girl's name, and Bacon is not a usual Vineyard name. But one of the things about the museum is that the library is just full of ways to answer questions you might have. Who was she? Who was her mother? Why was she sick? And what happened to her? Among many, many, many other questions that, for me, that letter raises. And the only real clue, or clue to where I began, in the letter was Mr. Smith. And it turns out among the first 25 proprietors was a Samuel Smith. If you look at what genealogists tell us about him, he had married, not just a few years before this letter was written, he had married the widow of Thomas Daggett. Her name was Hannah Daggett. And if you check on Thomas Daggett, you'll find that the Hannah he married was Hannah Mayhew, Thomas Mayhew's first daughter, the first of four he had. Thomas Daggett and Hannah Mayhew Daggett had 10 children, and the 10th was named Ruth. So we begin to understand that she was writing home to her mother, Hannah Daggett, daughter of Thomas Mayhew. If you look a little more, you can discover that three of Thomas Mayhew's 4 daughters all married off island. Hannah was not the first, but she married Nicholas Bacon, who lived in Barnstable, from which she had written the letter. And if you look at a little more in the records about that family, you'll find that the letter was written on the 6th of January, 1704, and on the 15th, their first daughter, named Hannah, arrived. If you want to know what happened to her, she lived to have another daughter, and actually she didn't die until she was 80. This is the kind of thing that really can get under my skin and make me feel that I have walked in somebody else's shoes. And I hope in your next visit to the museum that you will find something that does exactly the same thing to you. Thank you.